YouTube channel. Of course, we post it on our social media pages, as always good to have you with us. And yeah, viewing either live or later on when you have an opportunity. It's good to have you with us. Yeah, interesting times we're living in. Hey, a lot of change happening at the moment, coming out of a season, a lot more sun at the moment. I'm seeing on my own home a lot more solar power, and yeah, I've been able to enjoy amazing resource. Well, today we want to talk about something that's actually happened in our own city here in Nelson Mandela, Gqeberha or Port Elizabeth, in that a couple of large pylons, electricity lines, have actually collapsed, and we have an area in our city that is without electricity. Friday, so going on 5 days now. Initial forecast was possibly 2 weeks of no electricity. They're making emergency. Now it looks like it could be a week, and long-term repairs could take much longer. So it sort of talks about this aging infrastructure that we're very aware of, not only in our own around the country as well. And of course, a lot of people have got solar. But today we want to talk about what is the wrong solar to have, because a lot of people have solar and it's not working. Something's not quite right with this application. And we've done lots of videos about different kinds of application, but I think it's quite important that we touch on this because it is such a burning issue. It is possible to actually have the wrong solar, which seems a bit crazy. Solar seems like solar. I'll give you an example. We've had this happen before in our city. In fact, there was a theft recently, and our local golf course had recently put up a large grid-tied system. And some copper was stolen in the area, and everybody, in the area had no electricity. Also, 5, 6, 7 days of no electricity. So local golf members thought, oh, there's no electricity. I'm going to go down to the golf club. There's electricity there because we've just put in solar. Unfortunately, they put in grid-tied solar. And so grid-tied solar means the grid's got to be on. And because the grid wasn't on, those panels weren't able to produce power. So there's that wrong solar to have. We kind of can understand that kind of technology being used where the grid is very stable and the infrastructure looks good and well maintained. We don't have that luxury, and we're seeing more of that happening across our nation and across the continent as well. Infrastructure just not strong enough and stable enough. So grid tied is really great because you don't have to have the expensive batteries, but of course then you are more dependent on the grid. And so a lot of systems have this hybrid aspect to it where they're grid tied, and then if there's no grid, they fall in the batteries. But of course, you still need the grid there to be present for you to be able to produce the power, push it into the grid, get it back when you need, or to charge the batteries. And the newer hybrid stuff tends to be able to work in both scenarios. So it's quite important that you decide from the onset. And a lot of people are quite angry at the moment in our city because they've got solar and it's not working. They've gone for a solar system. So how do I know what the right system is? And I think this is why we're so passionate about this microcare. A few years ago, we moved away from grid-tied connected systems. We saw this aging infrastructure and we saw the demand decrease for it. And we started seeing more and more people for independence. And independence also means a couple of other things. It means greater return on investment. It means that you're not affected by small outages or problems in the area. And it also means that you can control your spend. You have a good idea management of your own energy. It does mean also that you mitigate any rising energy costs. We know that Eskom have asked Nerska for, 40% increase in electricity. It's just not sustainable for the consumer. We can understand implications, and with large municipalities not paying their debt, we don't want to be those who are paying, be the victims of this. So the encouragement is to try and become more and more independent. Even large factories are realizing, hey, we put up grid tied, but it's nothing now when the grid's not on. So it's about finding a system that is independent and really works for you. Why is this important? Because it gives you energy security and mitigates the rising energy costs, which are coming. They've come already, but there more will come. So those are the factors. And for businesses, you might be saying, batteries seems too expensive. Not at all. We've started to see the return on investment with battery integration to being under 5 years. And of course, for businesses, don't forget, with the 12B tax allowance still in place in this financial year, you could be benefiting even more. We recently did a system on a factory, and we saw that payback is under 3.5 years with that tax allowance. So it's a no-brainer. Mitigating rising costs, securing your energy future, no matter what happens around, making sure business is energy-proof going forward. And then, of course, for your home as well. So it is possible to choose solar and for it to be the wrong solution. So make sure that you get the right advice. There's a lot of people doing solar at the moment. Everyone who's ever touched a plug seems to be doing solar at the moment. So please make sure that you are putting your faith and trust in someone who's firstly got solar on their own home. Make sure they're practicing what they preach, and then able to show you some evidence of that and have a good rapport as well. We encourage you as well to buy local as much as possible. We're here to support you. We've even put our stamp of a lifetime warranty on our products. with our transformers and metalwork to show that we really mean business. So contact Microcare and let's ensure that you're on a sustainable path today. Thanks once again to all of you for your questions. Thank you to our installers who've been so loyal over these years. 34 years, we're still going. All right, we'll catch you next week on our weekly video. Like, share, and subscribe, and bye for now.